Welcome, everyone. This is your girl Janelle here for another episode of Talk to Me Tuesday. I am so excited, as always, to have you guys join me. As you guys are coming into the house, you know how we do it here when we come into empowering you. If you could go ahead and type fam into the comments so we can recognize you, and say hello. For those of you who, again, I'm so excited that our family continues to grow. So, if you are joining us for the very first time, we want to welcome you. I invite you to go ahead and put first time into the comments so we can know that you are a new part of the family and that you are joining us for the first time. But as everyone knows who joins us each and every week, it is only one time that you are a first timer. So, after that point, you are fam. Come on in, get comfortable, take off your shoes, and spend some time with us. And for all of our loved ones who I know are catching us on the replay, I want to go ahead and invite you as well to go ahead and let us know that you caught some of this information when you were able to log in into the replay. So if that is how you are rocking and rolling with us, go ahead and type replay into the comments and let us know that you are here. And whatever platform you are able to join us on today, we are super excited that you are here. So if you have joined us via YouTube and subscribed, thank you. Continue to invite others to join us and be able to see all of our previous Talk to Me Tuesdays really being showcased for them there. And for those of you who are rocking and rolling with us where we begin and Facebook, go ahead, and I'm excited to see you guys here. So today's message, we're going to be talking about being prepared for a blessing. Okay. And I want to start by saying, is anybody ready for a blessing, right? Because if you're ready for a blessing, go ahead and put yes into the comments. Let me know that you guys are in here ready for a blessing. And I want to talk about, what do you do while you are waiting for the blessing? What do you do to make sure that you are prepared so when that abundant blessing literally drops on your lap, rings your doorbell, comes into your life, you are ready to really embrace it, take it on, and fully move forward with it, right? So often the people that I get to support and work with and partner with are saying to me that, they're ready for the next big thing. They're ready to live in their brilliance. They're ready to walk in their purpose. And that is awesome and amazing. But one of the things that I often want to make sure that people understand is we need to make sure that sometimes when we feel like we're in that in between time, in the meantime, as Liana states, is that we're continuing to prepare for it, because we want to be intentional about really thinking about how we are preparing for that blessing. I don't think there's anything worse than being able to receive a blessing and not being prepared for it and having the blessing literally just go by you. So today I want to share with you about how do you make sure during that time you are continuing to stay focused on being intentional, living in purpose with really being ready for your blessing. And the first thing that I want you to do is you need to make sure that if you are working towards a goal, which, I want everybody to understand, every goal, every initiative, everything you're working on, understand when it comes to fruition, understand the blessing that it is. Because none of us are guaranteed that what it is that we think we want, we deserve, or what we need has to be given to us. There's so many people, and again, no matter where your life is right now, because we all deal with various things, right? So if you are I know some fam is just getting over some health conditions where they are richer, stronger, more powerful because of those things. I know that for some of us, we are leading businesses and we're continuing to partner with individuals and search for those clients and get those clients. And again, if that's what we're doing, those of us who are parents, grandparents, wherever your blessings are, understand that there are people who are around you. There are people who are not around you who would love nothing more than those blessings. Sometimes your blessings feels like a curse, but that's not today's topic, right? And the reason I say that is because we need to really appreciate the blessings that we have, that sometimes we don't even realize that we have. So the first thing is being prepared for blessings is recognize what is the blessing you're asking for. What is the blessing that you're seeking? I recently received a blessing and it was wonderful, right? And when I received it, I was really thoughtful about this topic because I had done so many things to prepare for the blessing. And when I received the blessing, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is what we've been working on." But when you've been working on something for such a long period of time and it actually comes into existence, are you ready to ensure that you can be trusted with the blessing? Have you been working to ensure that the blessing is going to not only be a blessing for you, but it's going to be a blessing for others. So the first thing I want you to do as you're preparing is, you know that this year I am focused on intentionality. I told y'all I don't do particularly the New Year's resolutions. For all of you who do them, I hope you have continued success. We are heading into the last to March. Today's first day of March, women's empowerment. I love it. I love it. I love it. And with that, we are closing out potentially at the end of this month, the first quarter. So I hope all of you who have your resolutions, you've been continuing to take better care of yourself. You have been working towards losing weight, being wiser with your money. These are just the usual resolutions that many people have. So I hope that those of you who that is the path that you live in, that you're being successful there. I have shared with you that what I do is I go through an activity, and I go through this activity with my clients as well, where we really unpack as we look to the year, what is going to be something that we're going to focus in our attentions. We're going to focus in so that when we get our blessings, when we move in our purpose, it allows us to really make sure that we're working towards that. And I shared with you, as I've gone through the activity, I do it annually myself, that I have focused in on my word being intentional this year. And that is the first thing as you're preparing for a blessing, is you have to be intentional to really realize, how are you dedicating time to being intentional to enhancing what it is that you need to do for the blessing. So if your blessing is, I know that some fam is looking to start a business, right? So some of you are out here. I love it. I love it. I know you guys strategically are working on a blessing where you want to start your own business. You have some thoughts in mind. But each day you have to spend some time. And again, it doesn't have to be so often. This is why, people who truly do have resolutions often become frustrated, because we're like, we are cutting out all carbs. We are working out for 6 days a week, for 2.5 hours a day, blah, 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 blah. And we don't have success because we're really trying to tackle everything. However long it took you to gain those pounds, it's probably going to take you half that time to be able to lose them. So if you know that you are sweet 16, it's going to take you at least 5-ish kind of years if you are continuing to make some better health decisions, right? And my grandmother, I love her so much. God, she's with God right now. But she used to always talk about, when you look at the word diet, the first word in diet is die, right? So she always said she's not looking to diet. She's looking to really form some habits that she can live with. So just take that nugget for what it's worth. My grandmother gave it to me. I'm giving it to y'all. But I say all of that because I want you to start to think about what the blessing it is that you have identified. If it's on your vision board, if it's on your wall in front of you, if it's any place, make sure you can see it. Know what the blessing that it is that you're asking God. Because when you ask God for something, oftentimes He will provide it to us. And I encourage you, I have learned from this myself time and time again, that sometimes I'm asking God for something that He knows good and well I don't have no right to have. Sometimes I'm asking for things that I'm not going to be able to handle, because at that point in my life, it's not what He knows is best for me. But if I continue to annoy Him, sometimes you get what you ask for, right? So I have learned in my life through, again, last year for me was about purpose. Last year about living in intentionality and living in that purpose, it allowed me to recognize my purpose is to do His will. My purpose is to do God's will for my life, right? There's reason that I have breath. There's reason that I exist. There's reason that I live. And I understand it's bigger, it's bolder, it's brighter than me. So in understanding that, I have to really make sure that as I'm working towards this blessing, that it's clear to me. I know what it is that I am seeking. So when I seek to do His will, I need to understand what it is about me that I need to work on every single day. So as I get those blessings rain down, shower down on me, I'm in a place where I can take control of them. I'm in a place where those blessings can multiply. They can multiply for me. They can multiply for others. They can multiply for those who I haven't even met. So really being intentional with first recognizing what it is you're asking for. What is the blessing you're seeking? What is the goal you want to achieve? And when you identify that, how are you spending time each and every day? 5 minutes, 1 minute, whatever it is. But you have to make sure that you are being intentional about spending the time to continue to prepare for that blessing. So many of us joke around and say, "Oh, when Powerball, Mega Million, whatever lotto is in your area, your neck of the woods, whatever the thing is that when you see $475 million, right? Maybe it's just me, right? I don't know. Maybe none of y'all even pay attention to the lotto, right? But we all, me and the many people I know, we talk about what we would do if we win. But are you really prepared for that level of a blessing, right? Have you thought about what's the taxes that's coming out? Have you thought about, do you have a financial advisor? Do you have an attorney? Do you have these things set up? Are you ready to walk away from your job? Who will you tell it? Are you prepared for the blessing? So understanding that each day, if you are working towards increasing and being knowledgeable, having the skills, having the wisdom that is going to be needed when the blessing shows up for you. Okay. So when you do that, what I want you to do is to really make sure the first thing is to be clear about what you're working towards. Be clear about your goal. Be clear about what it is that you seek to do. Once you have that, make sure you're spending time each and every day. And it doesn't need to be 17 hours out of the 24 that we all have each and every day. Sometimes preparing for your blessing may require you to spend 1 minute talking to God. It may require 5 minutes of knowing that if I know that some of you have shared with me that you've always wanted to be a motivational speaker. If that's what you want to do, what are you doing each and every day to strengthen how you communicate with others? What are you doing each and every day to motivate one person? Someone you know, someone you don't know. So really be intentional about thinking, what's my goal? What's my initiative? What's my blessing? What is the thing that I'm asking for? And then as you're spending the time each and every day, recognize what knowledge do you have and what knowledge do you need? So if you want to start your business, do you know, are you starting an LLC? Are you looking to start an S Corp? Are you doing a sole proprietorship? Do you know these things? If you want to cater, have you started to think about what are going to be your signature menu items? Have you started to share this outside of in your mind? Outside of your small circle, have you started to do the things to think about, do I have all the pots and the pans and the knives and those things that I will need to be successful? And then do I have the wisdom? Because again, you can have all the pots and pans and knives in the world. You can even have the skill to be able to cook. But if you don't continue to speak to God to give you the wisdom about how to apply those skills and that knowledge to be successful, as much as we hear each and every day, especially in this month, how many women are starting their own companies? How many men, how many people in general are starting their own businesses? But unfortunately, with the excitement of all the people starting their own business, we also recognize that every single year, many businesses fail. And it's not because those individuals don't have the knowledge. It's not because those individuals don't have the skills. And it's not exclusively because they don't have the wisdom. But understand wherever you are in your journey, you've heard this. Some of you have been through that workshop about talking about the joy in your journey. Is as you prepare for your blessings, understand that every part of preparing for your blessing doesn't mean it's going to be easy. But it's a lesson to be learned that makes you wiser, that makes you more aware of how to apply that knowledge and those skills so that you can continue to have success. You can continue to be blessed. You can continue to be a blessing to others. And through it all, as you prepare, and in the, again, know, be clear about it. That's number one. Number two is to make sure that you're really intentional about your time. The third component is, how are you investing to be prepared for the blessing? Again, when I talked about, if you're hopeful one day to win Powerball, I don't even know, or Mega Million, I don't even know how much it is right now, right? But I know it's millions, right? Because it starts at millions. So even with that millions, if that is the blessing that you want to have, because you know all of the great things you want to do. I often say, people said to me, if you could do anything in this world, if I could do anything in this world, I just would love to give. I would like to walk around. People know who know me well know I say this all the time. I would love, if my ideal job is that I had the opportunity to just continue and go randomly out each and every day and provide blessings to people. I would love to do it financially, but as I prepare for what I say that I want to do, it doesn't mean that I still can't provide people every single day with blessings. While they may not be financial, as I provide those other blessings, it's continuing to prepare me for that thing that I say I want to do so much. Where I just want to go up, I want to be in a supermarket and just be like, listen, everybody in front of me, I'm paying for your food. I want to be at the gas station, and again, with all that the world is dealing with, my husband just said to me, we paid one price for gas on Saturday. Yesterday, he went to get gas for our other car, which again is the blessing. And the gas prices have literally increased quite a bit, right? But the blessing in all of this and what we're continuing to prepare to do is God has blessed us to be able to have a car. God has blessed us to be able to pay for the car. God has blessed us to have enough money to get gas, to continue to go to work and do the things that He's blessing us to do. So while my hope and my dream and my ideal one day is to have money where I can just randomly go out and do kind things for people, and not people who are asking, people who are just going about their day to day. When I pick up my kids from school, seeing a mom who is walking her kids home, providing her with some support, providing the dad with some support. Be like, you know what, treat your kids this weekend. Treat yourself this weekend, right? Just going to places and helping and blessing people. But until I get to that point, it doesn't mean that when I see those scenarios, that I can't say that all of the people in front of me, while I may not be in a space yet to pay for all your groceries, I can pray for you. I can continue to enhance the knowledge and skills that I have so that when the blessings flow upon me, I'm wise enough to allow those blessings to multiply and to understand that as they multiply for others, they will multiply for me. And through this all, before number 1, 2, and 3, before you think about being clear and specific and compelling and concise with what it is that you're working towards, what is the blessing, being clear about that, right? Being intentional about how you spend your time and spending each and every day working on enhancing your knowledge and your skills and making sure you grow wiser. Being cognizant about how you're investing financially and continuing to prepare yourself for your blessing. But above all 3 of those things that you really have to do as you continue to be prepared for your blessings is you have to trust God. And for those people who don't recognize that God is the reason, understand, people will say to me sometimes who I come into contact with, well, how do you know God is real? And I say to them, I know the wind exists. Now I can't see it, but I can feel it. And the same way that I plant a seed, the same way that I'm teaching my kids how to plant and grow vegetables and fruits, the same way that I plant that seed and I trust that something is happening in the soil that one day will develop into beautiful flowers and fruits and vegetables that will be beautiful and nourishing to us. I cannot see what's happening with that seed. I can't see in the ground what's happening, but I know something is happening. In the same ways that I trust that when I plant and we water and we make sure that the soil is good, the same way that I trust the flower will blossom, the same way I trust that a tomato will grow, the same way that I trust that whatever we plant will grow, is the same way I trust God in knowing that as He continues to plant those seeds in me, that as I grow, as I continue to do what He has called me and trusted me to do, is that each and every day is my blessing. So each and every day, I have to spend the time ensuring that I'm prepared for it. Because as my blessings grow, as I grow, as my purpose gets clearer, I know to trust him when I can't see him because I can feel him. I know to trust him because I have seen the magnificent things and I have seen the abundant blessings that I have already received. So, for all of you who are listening to my message, all of you who are ready to be blessed, for all of you who recognize how blessed you are right now, that you even have the opportunity to hear this message, however you are hearing me, recognize that in itself is a blessing. But I want to challenge you all each and every day to ensure that you're being intentional in spending some time each and every day to grow more knowledgeable, to enhance the skills that you have, and to seek to be wiser about how you apply that knowledge and skills to be better prepared for all of the blessings that are coming to you. And that no matter what, wherever you are in the journey, that you trust God and that you trust that there is blessings that are waiting for you. And I want you to recognize as those blessings come before you and the things that you thought that you wanted for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years that are now coming to fruition. The worst thing that can happen is when you've been praying and you've been hoping and you've been wishing for something to happen. You've been praying for that blessing and to get it and not be prepared. So again, I challenge you all to make sure each and every day that you're working towards being prepared for your blessings. This is your girl Janelle signing off for another episode of Talk to Me Tuesday. It is truly my pleasure to come and join you each and every week. And until we meet again, continue to be prepared for your blessings. Take care and stay safe.